Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Education Ministry to meet with Merle Grove Board amid management conflicts. Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Favour Williams, is to meet with the Board of Management at the Merle Grove High School in the wake of the recent suspension of the principal and amid reports of management conflicts at the senior administrative level. Principal Dr. Marjorie Fullerton was reportedly suspended by the Board of Management last Thursday following quarrels over conflicting governance style at the school. Shortly after, Merle Grove past students from the New York and Canadian chapters of their association joined their Jamaican counterparts and parents of current students in demanding that the suspension be immediately rescinded, stating that they had no confidence in the board chairman David Hall and other board members. In a report, Hall accused Fullerton of actions which adversely impacted the running of the school and denied that anything untoward had been done to her. He said the suspension was in keeping with the Education Code of 1980 under the Education Act. In a statement yesterday, the ministry said it is aware of the online petition calling for the immediate reinstatement of the principal and an apology from the board. It said it will seek to ascertain the facts in its meeting with the board and other stakeholders before making any comments on the matter. Mayor of Montego Bay pays tribute to former councillor Charmaine Gillett Richards. Chairman of the St. James Municipal Corporation and Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Leroy Williams, has expressed condolences at the passing of former councillor Charmaine Gillett Richards. Williams stated that the people of St. James, and in particular Mount Salem, have lost a champion, a gentle giant, a hard worker and a committed servant. Gillett Richards, who served as council for the Mount Salem division from 1996 to 2003, died early yesterday, just months after going on pre-retirement leave after leaving serving at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security for a number of years. She served then St. James Parish Council with distinction, and her record of service will stand the test for time. Former Councillor Gillett Richards was never afraid of standing up for her people and standing up for what is right. She is unrelenting in getting projects done, not just in her division but across the parish, as she believed that citizens must be served by their political representatives regardless of which party is in power, Williams said. Minority Leader at the St. James Municipal Corporation, Councillor Michael Thorpe, also shared that Gillett Richards was a no-nonsense councillor who was passionate about her division. We were both elected councillors at the same time, and immediately we became good friends. We shared the common view that we were elected to serve and we must serve the people regardless of which political party they support. He added, former Councillor Gillett Richards was very jovial, and although she was a native of St. Mary, she adopted St. James as her home and was loved by the citizens in this parish. We will miss her, and I am sure her memories will live on. Education Ministry does not condone inappropriate language used by school principal. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has noted with dismay the inappropriate language used by one of the nation's most eminent principals in his attempt to caution students about their sexual behavior. In a statement released yesterday, the ministry said, while the gist of his message is understood, we cannot condone the generally insulting manner in which this was conveyed. It added that there are many messages to be conveyed, and leaders should bear in mind that the tone and likely impact of what is said, which may undermine the desired effect. St. Catherine partygoers outwit cops. Despite their best efforts, the St. Catherine North Police were unable to locate an illegal dance that was held in the division on Sunday night. Commanding Officer for St. Andrew North, Superintendent Howard Chambers, reported that the police got intelligence about the dance, which was being held in Linstead, and immediately dispatched several units. We couldn't find that party, Chambers revealed. We searched several areas but came up empty-handed. The government had banned parties and other entertainment events in an effort to stop the spread of the COVID-19 in Jamaica. During the illegal dance, videos of the events were taken and posted on Instagram. In the videos, what seems to be hundreds of patrons were seen dancing and enjoying themselves, and loud music was heard and the selector spoke. The venue was not properly lit, but from what we could see, it did not appear as if any of the patrons were wearing masks. Some people who commented on the video encouraged the patrons to enjoy themselves as they blasted the government for being two-faced, having a lockdown, but allowing tourists to come to Jamaica and be on the road. Others accused the patrons of being inconsiderate, possibly helping to spread COVID-19 because of their irresponsible behavior. Checks made by reporters reveal that the dance was just one of the many which are held in the Linstead area on a nightly basis. Councillor Caretaker calls for more vaccination sites in St. Mary Western. People's National Party PNP Councillor Caretaker for the Gale Division in St. Mary Western, Giovanni Byfield, is calling on the Ministry of Health and Wellness to set up vaccination sites in the constituency. Byfield, in the statement from the PNP, highlighted that a number of vaccination sites in the parish is insufficient to serve the population there. Further, he noted that there are many residents who are willing to get vaccinated but cannot do so due to what he said were challenges associated with accessing existing vaccination sites. Residents have to go to Ocho and Central St. Mary to get vaccinated. The vaccination sites are too far, and mostly elderly persons are unable to make the journey, asserted Byfield. According to the councillor caretaker, the issues with accessing vaccination sites extended beyond location. Byfield, while noting the obvious strain on household income due to the pandemic, expressed that poor road conditions and the low number of taxis plying the Ocho to Port Maria route pose a challenge for residents who want to take the vaccine. Against that background, he is calling on the Health and Wellness Ministry to re-evaluate the strategy for Western St. Mary vaccination sites. At the same time, Byfield urged the St. Mary Western Member of Parliament, Robert Montague, to advocate on behalf of the people for more accessible vaccination sites. To that end, the PNP Councillor Caretaker recommended that the Health Ministry utilize the Gale Health Centre, Free Hill Primary School, and the Mount Angus Primary and Junior High School as vaccination sites in the constituency. The suggested sites are centrally located and allow easier access for residents, including students and elderly members of the community, the PNP statement disclosed. Listen to the signs, take the necessary precautions to protect yourselves and those around you by getting vaccinated. Wear your mask, wash your hands and sanitize, Byfield urged residents. Carnival cruise ship docks on lockdown Monday.
We've seen an escalation in COVID cases in the last couple of, say the last 2 months. We have seen an escalation in deaths and infections.
Well, so in the United States, though, we've got a big abundance of the COVID breaking out also. And we're allowed to go out as long as we have our mask on. So I don't know why Jamaicans can't come out without as long as they've got their mask on, like we do in the United States.
It has created some controversy here among the locals who believe that it is unfair.
It is unfair. They should be able to come out.
What's your experience now, given that there is no locals for you to mingle with? Is it a different experience?
Yes. It looks like it's a ghost town now.
Does that take away the fun though?
No, I mean, you don't have the people cheering around or walking around and greeting you like you usually do. I mean, yes, you got the people that are at the stores, but you don't have the ones that are walking in the streets greeting you like I have before when I've been here.
And do you miss that?
Yes. Yes.
What about it you like?
Just the friendliness of everybody here. I do miss that.
It's been a while. We haven't even received a guest. Not literally, not even to say I, nor Odie. We can't even get the presentation of our stuff, meaning like literally we are the maker, we are the founder of craft. And when you look at it, we only be pass buyers. The Indians get the preference. The other facilities get the preference. When we are the founder and we can't even look, not even see of a guest. Imagine we're here, it's been 2 cruise ships now since the pandemic, 3 ships. And right now we haven't even seen a guest. Visuality, you can look right around, it's the same thing. See, I'm closing right now. Because there's this, we come out this morning, nothing. The past couple, next 2 ships that pass is the same thing, nothing. When other places just getting the benefit of it. when we are the founder. I think it's really need to get in consideration. The government need to address this point. We do as the process goes, we do all the necessities, we do all the protocols, we follow everything, we do the tests, everything there stated, vaccine, who don't take vaccine, gotta do the swab, representation of our stuffs, and yet still this is it. We only going out, you have person cannot even afford it, but basically just because the ship coming in, they go and pay their funding of getting swabbed just to approve that they are following the protocol of the government. And honestly speaking, it's really inappropriate for us to just come and just sit like this, wasting where there's no money. We can't receive nothing at all. And yet still we are spending just to follow the protocol the same way. We have to be sanitized, we have to do our protocol, follow, use our uniform, as they say, going around orientation and well, but it's not benefiting us. Definitely not. And the persons who's being past buyers, because that's what I categorize as Indians and Chinese and Mexicans, they are past buyers because they don't invest back in the country. You understand? We are the one that pay tax. We pay all those revenues. We have to build the country because this is our background. This is what we live off. This is what we're born in. But yet still we can't benefit from it.
The process that the corridor entails was a system that included the training, it included the design of how the system would work. There was a geographic zone that was limited in space, and it had a joint approach between the private sector and the public sector. And when I say the private sector, it was the entire tourism stakeholders, the hotels, the bus drivers, craft market vendors, attractions. It's a true collective approach to monitoring and managing, along with the TPDCO agency of Ministry of Tourism. So what it really is was taking the MOH protocols, which work, and putting a system in place to manage and monitor that these protocols are working. Everybody leaving the corridor, all visitors on that come to stay in the hotels and go on the attractions, they're all tested before they go back to the United States. And we have maintained a positivity rate of under 1%. We had one period where it went to 1.17, and it has since maintained at 1% or below, which is really a proof that protocols work. Now that's not to say that it's not important to vaccinate. But vaccination becomes a very powerful tool in the toolkit of protocols, which we all need to keep ourselves safe and to allow the continuity of business going forward. One of the things that we are coming to realize, and I'm certainly not a scientist, but by all information I'm hearing, is that we're going to be living with this thing for possibly another 2 years. So it's important for us to be looking and saying, how do we live with COVID going forward? And I don't see any way around not maintaining, monitoring, and enforcing the protocols going forward.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.